So, colleagues and friends, we are just about to kick off the meeting here today, but I suggest that we just allow a few more minutes for a few more people to join our workshop. So let's say we reconvene in 2 more minutes, and then we can begin today's workshop. Okay, colleagues and friends from around the world, welcome to this workshop number 7. Believe it or not, it is number 7 that is coming up here today within the next hour. So again, a warm and heartfelt thank you to all of you sitting out there in the world for all the work you are doing, for all the energy that you are putting into increasing the awareness and building our WPC community. Now, the purpose of today's workshop here is to prepare for your tournaments, your national tournaments, and the documentation and reporting of the same, which is really hugely important. So the Phygital Tournament application campaign for 24-25, the season of that, has just come to an end. And we are now prepared and preparing to start the national tournaments within 4 disciplines. And the 4 disciplines we are looking at is phygital football, phygital basketball, phygital shooter, and also phygital dancing. And this is actually the first tournament in the season and in the history of WPC. And I do hope that with all your combined skills and energy and insight and understanding of the basics of the phygital sport, that you will be able to, how to say, make a quantum leap and quantum move forward in a qualitative way and continue to develop our community further. Today, our goal here is to support you as much as possible to make sure that your tournaments, your national tournaments, will become of the highest quality and have a big success, and that you meet the requirements, which is really important, that you get the status, as I mentioned before, of a rated tournament. And actually, to that end, we have divided today's workshop into three main areas: milestone deliveries, call it that, which is one before the tournament, two during the tournament, and three the reporting of the results of the tournament. And this is what we would like to focus your attention on here today, to actually get the minute differences and tricks of the trade, you can call it. So actually you hit the nail spot on. As I normally say in the previous workshops, please, questions. There will be a Q&A on the topics for today towards the end of this workshop. And please keep those questions to the topic that we are about to discuss here today. And of course, if you have any questions, queries outside of the topic, please write us, contact us. But let's focus our time best possible today on the topic at hand, which is actually the tournaments, the documentation and reporting of the same. With us today, we have our next speaker, Vlad Ershoff, and we also have Dan Merkley, who will be the moderator once Vlad has taken us through the ropes of the tournaments and the documentation and reporting. And then Dan will kick in and actually moderate and take the questions. And as you know, remember to raise your hand, at least in the system where there is a hand. You can also do it like I do here. But Dan will talk much more about that. So without further ado, thank you again, all of you sitting around the world, for again jumping online and be part of growing our WPC community. So Mr. Ershoff, Vlad, my friend, over to you.
Good afternoon, Nis. Good afternoon, dear colleagues, dear WPC members. Thanks, first of all, for your time, for joining us today on our seventh workshop, as Nis already mentioned. Let me just quickly share my screen to start the presentation, which I prepared for you for this workshop. Actually, today, I think most of you will not know
Vlad, can you get a little bit closer to the microphone? Sorry to interrupt. You're a little bit distant.
Of course, I'll try. Like this better?
Let's try.
Okay. Today I will not say something new for most of you, but you already heard or read this information in our documents or during negotiations while getting on board of WPC, but I tried to structure it a bit only regarding the tournaments and what's happening right now. And as Nis already mentioned, the application campaign for first WPC season is over, and now we already passed this period, this timeline, working with application forms. Most of you did the application for the tournaments. They were submitted, we accepted them, so we are counting these tournaments and we are deeply in the preparation about this tournament. And after this step, when you filled in the forms, the application forms, all of you had received technical rules templates by email. So what we have now, the next step now, that we have to work on these templates, and half of you already approved these templates, and we know about about your tournaments, lots of information, but half of you didn't send us the feedback with the filled in templates, and that's why we are focusing here, that we are waiting from your side the filled in templates, and that we will start to negotiate, start to work on this document, because this document is the basic thing for the tournament to be hosted, for the tournament to be happening. So here, what I showed here in this presentation, and you will receive this presentation after the workshop, and I've made the clickable links again for our instructions, which would be useful for you preparing the tournaments. So now we are talking about the first step of approving the technical rules. And here in the instruction, you can see that this one, first step is done. This is about the application form, online application form. You did it. So right now you've received the template on the technical rules. Now we are waiting for most of you for the templates to be sent to us. As I already said, with some of you, we're already done with the process of filling in and approving technical rules, but with some of you, we did not even start it. So we here have to proceed. We have to move quicker here. And later on, while we will negotiate on that and while we will improve all the fields and it will be fully in, they will be accepted and we will be ready for hosting the tournaments from the position of technical rules. After this step, and half of you already have the access, we are opening the access for the members folder. In the members folder, you will also see the detailed instruction how to work with this folder and what this folder consists of, which documents it has, how to work with them. All the instructions are in the folder. And here I want to say that the most important prior to the tournaments is to work with the team and referee registration forms, because it's very important for us to work with the folder and to know from your side who would participate, which teams would participate, who will judge the tournament. And that is why we kindly ask you to fill in this information first. And this information is basic for you also to host the national tournament, because more time you have when you know the participants of the tournaments, the more success you will reach during the tournament. And this I also mentioned as a separate bullet, that you have to work with the team's applications and referees applications prior to the tournaments. And we, like a regulation body, have to see these applications. The brilliant goal is 2 weeks prior, but if you will lose this timeline, don't hesitate to fill it in, but still prior to the tournament. Later on, when you will pass through these stages, we are getting to the stage that you are ready to host the tournament, and you have to ensure, first of all, that you read and carefully read all the regulation documentation which we put in the folder. Again, the rule book, our regulations on ranking system, match report templates, tournament grids, and tournament reports. This all information is in the folder. You will receive it, you will see it. Please double check it, carefully read. Once again, this regulation documentation is not only to regulate, this documentation is to help you to host the successful tournament. The second bullet of success is to be ready to coordinate your operational team. I think that you are not the first day in the business of doing sport and the e-sport event, and I'm pretty sure that you understand that this thing is very important to be sure that your team is ready to do a good tournament operationally. The next one is the venue preparation. You have to be ready that the venue is ready, that the equipment is ready, that you have no issues on this side, that you are ready to bring the teams on site and to play our phygital sports. The very sensitive bullet is participation of the teams. Even when you will fill in the forms and put it in the folder, inform us like WPC that those teams are participating. Very important thing is to bring them on site, to be sure that they are coming for the event, that they will participate, that they will take part in this first phygital events in your countries. And the last point I mentioned here, that all the referees have to be on site also to provide the services for judging the tournament, to put the results in the reporting materials and stuff so on. Okay, during the tournaments, while you will be hosting and holding the tournaments, very important thing that you have to take out from your folder, match reports. And our suggestion to you, this is not an obligation, but just a suggestion to you to use these reports during the tournament, to fill them in right after the games, with the help of the referees or with your operational staff, with the volunteers, doesn't matter, but it will save your time, your nerves, and your resources after the tournaments doing the reporting. If you will print these reports with you and fill them in right on site, it will help you right after the tournaments to make a proper reporting to us, to WPC. And the second suggestion, very big suggestion, is to use our tournament grid, because my team, we did homework in summer. We prepared for you the document, which is the automated tournament grid, and I will show you this grid once again here. It's prepared for each and any sport, for each and any discipline, and it works automatically, because lots of you who already hosted the tournaments, they sometimes asking us question about our tournament grid, which is and the format of the tournament itself, which is GSL. We took this format and we used this format in the tournament platform for Games of the Future as a popular format in esports, which provides us an opportunity to save a little bit time on the group stage. That's why, because this is like a reduced group stage, that's why we used it on Games of the Future, and that's why we built the ecosystem of rating system based on GSL system. But we did a homework, as I said, we made a template, it works automatically. Please, after you fill in the reports after each game, spend 15 minutes after a daytime and fill this in, because this one works automatically. Let's test right away. Here, you just have to fill in the name of the team and the city where this team is coming from. Let's put like that: test 1, test 2, test 3, test 3, test 4. I will not fill in the cities because this is additional information for you, not to get lost through the names of the teams. But here you can see that the names of the teams, they went in here and they went in here automatically, and it will be happening with all 16 teams. And here, after you will put in the result of the first game, let's say the test 1 won 4-0 and test 3 lost 4-7, you can see here on the next stage, on the second stage, that the grid counts automatically who plays with him. That winner of the first game plays with the winner of the second game, and so on. And all this grid works automatically. So after you're done with the first stage, please fill it in. It will show you without any draws and any misunderstandings who has to play with whom. And later on the next stages, you will have to proceed with that. It works automatically. No possibility to make a mistake here, and this thing is really helpful, and it's quite clear to understand how it works. Please use that. This is a nice operational tool to do your tournament successful, and not to lose the details to count the result of the tournament itself. Okay, what next? After you did the tournament, we have, once again, I will fix here that the very important thing for us is technical reporting from your side on what was done on site, which venue you used, which equipment you used, did you had the spectators, did you had branding and stuff like that. All these photos, they are mentioned in the reporting requirement in the documentation, and we kindly ask you, like the organizers, just to show us how you did the work, how you did your first step in making WPC tournament, and why your tournament is better, let's say, than the tournament in another neighborhood country, and so on. But here I will mention that the most important thing for us right now is to know whether the tournament really existed, that the teams participated. We need to know, we want to know our new heroes of phygital sports, and that's why we're asking you to make the simple photos similar I've shown here on the slide at the right side. These are the photos from the tournaments which are already hosted in Cameroon and in Russia. Prior to the game, we ask you to make the photos of the teams who played for us to see the equipment used, that the people are existing on site and stuff like that. And later on, we will see the results of these teams again in that automated form of tournament grid. And we will see that result is honest and that we can approve this tournament as rated tournament and that it had been existing, it took place on site. Another thing that we're also asking you to do is to make a brief video report of each game. I'll show the video right here on the slide. Give me a sec. Here, no, let's say, surprise or some huge technical job. We do not ask you to make a broadcasting or wherever, but we ask you just to make a technical video shoot of the game, that the game has been done, that it has appeared on site, that we can see the teams you've showed us on the pictures and in the application forms of the teams, and that we can compare this information, that we can see that the result is honest, that it was not some fake or whatever. That's why we are asking you for this technical reporting of photos and videos. We are not asking for some specified regulations under video resolution or quality of photos or wherever. We are just asking them to be in the folder. You can do it by the cell phone yourself or to ask a specialized staff on site, whatever, how it would be comfortable for you. But here, no special requirements from our side. We just kindly ask you to put, because this reporting after the tournament is very critical for us to make all of you on one page, while we would combining the ranking table at the end of the season. Okay, and here we passed through the tournament. You already did your games and you have the winners and stuff like that. After it, of course, we understand that for lots of you, it's hard to do this reporting documentation, but we again kindly ask you to do that in 3 days after the tournament. If it will not be possible to squeeze in these deadlines, please let us know how much time do you need. But also, please know that right now we have 150 tournaments to go, 150 in 2 months. This is a very big amount of work for all of us, for you on site in your countries to host the tournaments, for us to combine the information from your side. And that is why we are just asking you here to be in the deadlines. After, we will review all the documentation that you've put in the folders. We will give you the feedback, because for some of our members, we are sending the emails that, guys, we are missing the photos, or we are missing the reports, or some mistakes are done over there in the paperwork. Please improve that, and we will give you a feedback definitely. After, we will receive the answer from your side, or if we have no comments on reporting documentation, We give all this information, we bring all this information to our membership and competition committee inside WPC, and later on they will take the decision whether to rank this tournament or not. Basically, you all seen the regulations on rating. All this stuff I already mentioned, all these forms, application forms, referee forms, all the deadlines. This is the obligatory basic information for the committee. But here we understand that we are just at the beginning of our way. We understand that this is the first step for you to make the tournaments in your countries. Some of you did not do the tournaments offline at all, but we are here to help. We are a bit agile. We do not punish anybody if somebody ruins the deadline, but it will be not my decision like the competitions director of WPC or somebody else. This is the committee. They will take my report from my side. What was done? What do we have? What quality of the tournament grids? What quality of the technical photos? What quality of team applications? And so on, and they will take the decision, and after it we will count the ranking, and at the end of the season, by 10th of January, this is our internal deadline, we will make the summary ranking of the teams, and this ranking will be published on our WPC resources such as websites and so on. Actually, about the tournaments and about the competition stuff and the technical stuff, this is it. But I have one more additional slide about reporting regarding the media part of our events. We already had the previous seminar related to the media reporting and to the media promotion and how it is important. These things, as far as I understand and see right now, they are not obligatory, but they are very important for all of us, for our world of WPC community and for the Phygital International and for the Games of the Future movement itself. And that is why colleagues from our media department, they are kindly asking you to make an additional report with all key information about the tournament that you hosted. And this report, it is also templated. The template is attached here. We discussed in details on the previous seminar all these bullets. By the want to see the key information about the events, including all the information about the teams, and you should have it from the technical point of view, from the competition's point of view. They want you to highlight and to mark key details that you want to highlight, such as the results of the winners or their relevant imagery or video content or whatsoever. If you did the broadcast, which is also no obligations from our side for you to do that, but if you did, please give us the information about this broadcast, how many people did jump on it, have seen your event. And as I already mentioned, this report also is templated, and the template is attached to help you to do this reporting and so on. All of you will receive these documents after the meeting, after the seminar, and you'll be able to take a look on them and to ask your questions. To finalize here on this discussion from my side, I just want to say that we are at the beginning of the way. Don't hesitate to ask any questions, any open minds. We are here to help you. We will try to do our best and to answer your questions. When you are sending us some documents that did not fill in, that have missing fields like TBD or whatsoever, right now we don't have even time to take care of these documents and to proceed on that. That is why please be in concrete information, ask concrete questions, and we will be happy to answer them. Let's make these first steps together. Let's do the best WPC season, best and first WPC season, and let's try to do brilliant stuff on site in your countries, in your territories, and so on. Thank you for listening. I'm ready for the questions.
Thank you, Vlad. Well-prepared presentation and all of the great work that you've done in order to automate and make this as easy as possible for everybody who are organizing. Let's move on to the question and answer period. My name's Dan. Welcome everybody from whichever time zone you're in. As Nis had mentioned before, please use the hand raising functionality within the meeting platform, or you can write your questions in the chat, and I'll be looking at both the chat and the live questions. So we have our first question is from Haydar, and so I recognize you. Yes, please, from Iraq. Tell me your question.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for this workshop. It's really helping. I just want to ask, I have some issue about registering in football and the phygital shooting, because I only found the form for basketball showing in my registration or participation. So I informed by the people in the office about that, and just want to show in this, or maybe send me the links about participation in the football and shooting. Thank you very much.
Of course, but Galia, can you say something on that? How many disciplines allocated to Iraq, and why we did not send the links for the applications? Or we have to just double check that?
Yes, hello everyone. Haydar, we will just contact you after the workshop to discuss about the number of disciplines and how you can apply for them in the application forms. So we will revert to you.
Thank you very much. Much appreciation. Thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you. If there are any other organizers who have a similar question or issue that could be answered by could also be answered by Galina's response or Vlad's response, please make a note of that and make sure they're contacted. Thank you. Next, I recognize Christabel.
Hi, good afternoon from Nigeria.
Hello.
Hi.
Please.
Okay, so yeah, I represent the organization in Nigeria that is handling the WPC here for our national tournament that we're planning to host for the very first time. And we kind of experienced some little difficulty in filling the form. The response we got after filling the form, that's for the phygital football. The response we got was there has to be only one national tournament. And yes, we know that there's only one national tournament, but from the way we filled the form for 2 locations. I don't know if we're getting it wrong. If you could put us through, like put me through. I have my team on the call as well. Maybe we could understand better what is expected of us. Yeah.
Thank you. Vlad, would you like to respond? The issue comes up when they try to list 2 locations for the single tournament.
Yeah, I'm trying to investigate with my team because they're also listening for the seminar, and actually I'm not.
Okay, Vlad, if you need a moment, Isabel will return.
I will need more time, and I will return a bit later here on the call, or we will come back to the Nigeria's member a bit later, but we fixed the question.
Very good. Christabel, we'll come back with your response. please raise your hand towards the end of the meeting if you haven't heard from us again, okay? I'm going to go to the chat. Let's see. Okay, we have a question from Juan. Is it necessary for an ambulance to be present during the tournament?
Actually, this is very good question, but the responsibility of the organizer on site, we do not have right now the specified regulations on the medical regulations, or let's say anti-doping regulations. But as again we said, we have not too much resources. We are on the beginning of the way, and we are not specially regulating these issues. But you, like an local organizer, you have to take care of that, because this is your responsibility, and the regulations from country to country is totally different. In some countries, it's very strict, and you are obliged to have an ambulance on site for like 24/7. In some countries, this is only operational hours, and in some countries, it's not obligatory at all. So we do not regulate. Here you can be oriented on the regulations in your country. That is the question, or that is the answer, excuse me.
Thank you, Vlad. I think all organizers should take some curiosity to learn the requirements of your local Department of Health in order to make sure you're meeting the criteria for a well-supported event in that regard. In some cases, if you are operating under an insurance policy, if your region requires, or your business, your registered business requires insurance, you will have to look at the stipulations or requirements of that insurance policy and make sure that your medical support complies with that as well. So please take up some curiosity in organizing your event in your region, what those requirements might be. Thank you. I'm going to recognize Celine.
Hi, this is Celine from Vietnam. I have the questions. Is it mandatory to have a referee who has a certificate from football or basketball federation?
Is it mandatory to have referees who are certified from a sports federation?
Yes.
No, they have to be, for you, like an organizer, they have to provide the service to referee your games. Right now, we do not ask for a special certificate from the federations, but of course, for example, let's say about the referees who worked on the previous events, like Games of the Future, the testing events, and all the stuff we did in the countries like Russia or Serbia. These referees are definitely related to the federations. It's easier for you like organizers, but again, we are just building the infrastructure of phygital sports. We are at the beginning of the way, growing our own standards of referees preparation and stuff like that. That is why right now we are not asking you, like the organizer, to give us certified referees. But we want to know who would participate as a referee on your event, because we need to collect this information. And if over there would be certified cool referees, they will be in our base, like regulation body base. And later on, we would tell or ask from WPC side to the PI side, like the tournament organizer of main events and main event in Phygital, to take a look on those referees, to bring them on the international platform, because over there we have to have international presence. That is why we ask you to start from the scratch from the one side, but from another side, we have to be ready, that we have to prepare referees for the international events. And the higher level you would be able to take on board while hosting your event, the more possibility these referees will represent your country or your LPCs on the main event. That is the answer right now.
Thank you.
I'm ready to get back for previous question about Nigeria.
This is for Celine, yes.
Yeah, we received the technical rules, which has two venues, two sporting venues, and we asked the question by email, but maybe you did not receive that email. What does it mean? So if you really want to take the competition on two venues, we are okay with that, but please specify in the rules which venue will take the final. So how do you divide between the venues? One will take the group stages and the second one will take playoffs, or it will be a mix, but we need to know which would be played where and where would be the finals. We are okay if you are using two venues or three venues or whatsoever. From one side, we do not have a huge scale of our event right now because they are rather like small, let's say, because they could be played in couple days. But still, if you want to split for some reason, if you want to use different infrastructure, we are okay on that. Just let us know additional information where the final will be.
Okay. So I think we actually got it mixed up in the beginning. The way we understood it, it was like we needed to hold different tournaments for it to be on record. And those tournaments will have their different winners. I think that was how we understood it, but we may have to go back to our drawing board and indicate just one location. I think I'll go back with my team so that we can look at it again.
Yes. Probably, if I'm hearing you right, no, we have to have one winner on one location. So we already passed through the period while we could do regional qualifications in different countries for the different regions. We already not discussing that because those countries who applied for the regional qualifications, they did this exercise and we already finished on that. We are here only now to discuss the national tournament. National tournament has to be played with the tournament grid format I already mentioned. It will be shared. It's mentioned in the regulation documents. And you're totally right. You have to get back to your team and discuss and to make one tournament on one location and to have one winner. Nothing else.
Sorry, let's make sure we clarify. When we say one tournament in one location, we're talking about one tournament in one hosted location, but that tournament could be in multiple venues, correct?
Yes.
Meaning facilities.
Yes.
You have to select which venue will host the final match, correct?
Okay.
Falad, did I state that correctly?
Yeah, that's okay from my side. But the thing Cristobal mentioned, I think that it's more about regionals. My feeling is like that. That
was the thought we had. That was the thought we had. But now that it is clear, I think we would have to go back to the form again to refill that form. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Cristobal. I'm going to go to the chat. I'm reading a question from Rodolfo. The question regarding the delegate from Phygital International that could potentially come to inspect the tournaments in person. Does that visit change in any way the amount of evidence that has to be submitted or the process to certify the national tournament, given that the delegate will see the matches, teams, etc.? Can you talk about the expectations organizers should have if there is a confirmed visit? I would say that if there's a confirmed visit, that is certainly an advantage in having that kind of witness, but the documentation is still very important. that there can be no exception on filling out the documentation that is that's been required. Vlad, would you add anything to that?
Yes, of course, you're totally right that if the delegate from Phygital Federation from WPC will come on site, it doesn't deny the process of reporting. The delegate will make his own internal report. He will come with the checklist. He will make photos himself. This will be additional report for us. This is the normal process for any let's say governmental regulating body of sports, and a report of the local organizing committee of the LPC member. It exists still, so you will have to report anyway. Of course, this will be additional evidence, and this will be internal report, which we will also put in the folder to the committee. But still, let's imagine the situation that our delegate came for the tournament. He did his own report. He made photos. He saw the teams, but the LPC member, he did not report at all. He did not put any material, any photos in the folders. But from one side, we will know that the delegate saw the tournament and the member did not make the reporting. Of course, we will let the committee know this situation, and the committee will take the decision. I think that this will be the good basis, but maybe some points will be minus for that or something else. Still, the basic thing is reporting after the tournament, because from your side, it doesn't have to be missing. The visit of technical delegate this is like additional exercise. We're also starting this process. We will build, I hope that on the next cycles, we will build a huge school of technical delegates that will come to the tournaments, that will help you with the regulations and with the operations within the tournaments. But right now, regarding our resources, we're just starting. That's why we've chosen a basic geography for us. We've sent you notifications, not for all of you, but for those we can reach right now in these deadlines, in this nightmare month, I would say, the end of the year, Christmas, New Year, and stuff like that. We can't cut ourselves in the pieces and send for 150 tournaments. That's why we've chosen the basic geography. We've sent notifications for you to, once again, let us know, to approve the dates, to approve the venues, to give us the contact person for the visits and stuff like that. This is also a very important part of our job, and we will proceed doing that.
Thanks, Vlad. Thank you, Rodolfo. Just a reminder that if you've used the platform to indicate you're raising your hand and your question has been answered, please deactivate the hand raising if your question's been answered, so that we don't accidentally come back to you. I'm going to move on to a, let's see, oh, hand just disappeared. Okay, let me go to the chat again. This is from Paraguay. Can we change the location and day for the tournament? I have this situation for my dance event. I'm assuming that you're asking because you've already filed or submitted a request or application to host the tournament, and now you need to change the location or day. This is the question from Paraguay.
Yeah, this is the basic question. If I was strict and ugly, I would say no, but I will answer yes, you can. Please do not hesitate to contact us. If you have any problems, we understand, we are all human. We understand that you have different circumstances, that you're connected to the venues schedules somehow, to the money somehow, financing and stuff like that. Yes, but inform us, where do you bring your tournament, which dates that would be, which venue it would be. But please, all of you already applied. We have applications, we have dates. For half of you, we already approved the technical rules templates and we have the detailed information. But if you have like 2 days left prior to the tournament, and moreover, if you informed us or like our media colleagues or us like competitions, and we already planned the visit to your tournament or making a media campaign for your tournament, please do not do that. If we have more time, like 2 weeks still to go, okay, let's change the dates, let's change the locations, but we can't do that by the end of January, because it will not gonna work. So right now, yes, the answer is yes. Please change, inform us through the, I don't know the status of each and any of you, but if you already agreed on the technical rules, do it by email separately. If you are still in progress about the technical rules, you have to mention it in the technical rules.
Thank you. Celine, you have your hand up again.
Yeah, I just want to ask, what is the support from WPC to help us to work with the game publishers or the game producers, or to get approval from them, like, you know, NBA 2K or EA Athletes, to use the game in the phygital tournaments?
Okay, this is a question regarding assistance with game publishers. Have you already attempted to use a community license? Referring back.
Because actually we don't have the game publishers like NBA in Vietnam.
Okay.
So we have to get approval from them to use the game.
Okay. Let's
answer
take
that.
this. Okay, I was going to say, Vlad, if you have a quick answer, otherwise this is not topical for this particular workshop. We did give a workshop on licensing titles from publishers. So Vlad will give a brief answer, but if there's more that you need, Celine, then let's review workshop materials from a prior workshop and take it offline. Vlad, please.
Yeah, I wish to mention that we had a separate workshop on that. All the contact people on this topic are mentioned there, but the brief answer is that all these games we are using, they have the community license. And the scale of the tournaments, which we are planning here in the rating system, because they do not have to be broadcasted, and you do not have to have obligation for the prize fund. It means that you are not you can use these games for your tournaments. The basic answer is so, but we will transfer your question to our colleagues from publishers department, and we will ask them to get in contact with you and to send you materials additionally.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we've answered, addressed all questions in the chat. I don't see any hands up. Is there? I'll pause for a moment in case there's someone that wants to raise their hand or ask another question. Okay. Everyone, this is it's been a really important topic. You can see how critical all of you are in order to make this new sport movement a legitimate movement. We have to make uniform the validity of the events. We are making uniform and increasing the talent pool, not only of athletes and organizers, but also referees as well. As Vlad has mentioned, how we're growing a pool of credible and skilled referees that we would wish to access and maybe even call up to increasing events of increasing profile as we advance talent towards qualifying events of games of the future. The work you're doing to document this and do it in a manner that is uniform gives us all of the evidence we need to demonstrate that this is a legitimate and honest sporting endeavor and sporting movement. So thank you for the work that you're doing and the attentiveness that you're giving all of this documentation and the instructions that Vlad and his team have prepared. I don't see any more questions, so I think I'll just hand it back to Nis to close for us. So first of all, Igor, did you have anything else you wanted to recap on before we close with Nis?
I just want
Okay. Nis, would you like to close for us? And thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you, Dan. So colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for jumping on this workshop number 7 today on a quite important topic. We appreciate all the good, relevant questions that was asked during this workshop. So with that being said, looking forward to the next workshop, and I wish you all the very best wherever you are in the world just now. And again, please remember, if there are any questions or comments coming up now, don't hesitate to call us or reach out by email so we can support you with whatever question you might sit with. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a nice rest of the day. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye.